In ancient India, there were a group of individuals called the Rishis who were very, very enlightened, very, very attuned to the universe. And they accessed tremendous knowledge just through their bodies and their intellects and their connection to God. And they were the foundation of India's spiritual traditions. And through this inner way, they accessed material that we're accessing now through our technology and experiments. So in ancient times in India, the world was seen as an illusion, and it was symbolized by a spider and a web. And spiders will make webs from material that comes from their abdomen, basically, and excreted from their abdomens, and it turns into the silk threads of the web. Well, we've in the last few decades we've understood that the string theory, which is that the universe is basically formed out of tiny, tiny strings that we perceive as atoms and electrons, molecules, but the fundamental building block are these strings, which is like the spiders, which is like the Rishi's symbol of illusion. Now, the main difference between the two ways of getting knowledge, our Western way of studying something till we get comprehension of it. So we'll have a microscope and we'll stand apart from what we're working with. Or, in a laboratory, we're apart from the experiment. And in the East, the Rishis, they would just access this knowledge that they would say is coming from the universal mind. It's coming from God. And basically, the more perfect a human being becomes, the more they drop their fear and hatred and grudges and all the stuff we're normally going round and round in, the more we can access this higher intelligence. Yeah. Now, the trouble with the Western way is we're getting all this information, but we're not embodying it at all. So it just sits there. So we know all this stuff about climate change and, diseases and everything, but nothing's changing. It doesn't change the way we act. We're still eating junk food. We're still polluting the world. We're still creating these difficult circumstances. Now, the way of the East, with the embodiment of it, is basically you can't get the knowledge, the God level knowledge, until you become that pure. So the knowledge is only given to people who are going to be responsible for it in a good way, that will treat it well and responsibly. With us in the West, we're a little bit like monkeys in the nuclear room. We're accessing huge amounts of power and knowledge, but we don't have wisdom, and we think we're separate from life and separate from our experiments. But this is also changing, because they're finding out that that it depends who's running the experiment, what the outcome is, that the person running the experiment influences things. So really, what I'm wanting to see, what I'm teaching, is the returning to your own heart, to your own intelligence, and to connect up to your true nature and rise in vibration. And then, really, if enough of us do this, the world is less likely to blow itself up. I mean, that is, that's the bottom line. So, maybe we should all just, start praying, and being a little more thoughtful about how we live our lives. And right at this time, this very delicate time that we're in, if any movement into truth, the universe will give you so much grace for doing. It's like, if a teacher has a class of kids who are like failing, the one kid who gets 51% gets applauded and gets all the prizes. So just be like that. Like, be a little more prayerful, a little more thoughtful in how you're living your life. And remember, we've all got broken hearts, Yeah. Other people are in as much pain as we are, maybe more. Yeah. And turning to the Creator will help lift the pain. Yeah, may you find this. Many, many blessings.